it. So I'll hand over to the person who runs this NGO and will tell us what they're doing in terms of their involvement in the local community. And I don't want to say anything. Over to you.
Yeah.
I've known. Yeah.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
I know Caesar, I was a little, you know, the time he started coming here, and then it's the same like my father to me. And what I was just to take tourists when he brings students, we also go out with the students. But everybody have a vision, what you can able to do to support your community. So I come in mind to come out for clean water for our communities, make sure that we can get problems and things. And so I meet a friend from US called Nathan Roberts, and we're able to start this. We're almost 10 years. But I started the work, it's almost done 50 years. And I started telling myself, my name is Rashid, and I'm as a co-founder for Well Constructed. You can see the car. And this, my brother, sorry? And Samuel, and Latifa, and Freda. So we all run this business to help support our communities. So I know that you guys is here, I say no. You guys have to come and see what we're also doing here. Sometimes some people need to have a knowledge about the communities, know what is happening. And volunteers, we also have volunteers coming from US. And my father is here, maybe he also can give maybe volunteers from Canada and all that. But I'll let my brother to give you the briefing about the what we're running. Yeah.
All right, welcome once again, and thank you for having you all here at Well Constructed. I'm Moses, the CEO at Well Constructed. And generally, just a brief about what we do and how we get to do this. So we are into building clean water projects, water wells for communities in deprived sector of the Upper East, where we have a partnership with these communities. It's just not about building wells, but it's about building wells and making sure that those wells are working always. So we have a maintenance system, which is one of the key things we look out for, to have a strategy whereby the maintenance of these wells is an ongoing process, because per research, there are a lot of boreholes or a lot of wells that have been built, but the aspect of it not working after some period of time is something that is the issue. So with Well Constructed, we came up with a strategy that how can we get these wells ongoing, maintenance going, and keep them working for generations to come. So we have a maintenance policy where we have to go partnership with these communities to raise funds. So a maintenance fund per each community with a bank account that is managed by the locals. They have a water board consisting of about 7 people, that they have a secretary, the chairman, and other people that will manage the fund, so that whenever there's a project done in that community for them, they are able to use that fund to keep the maintenance of the well going on. And what we encourage the community to do is to make sure that the fund doesn't dry out, because the routine of maintenance that is being done. So whatever maintenance is being done and the amount that has been spent, then they do their best to contribute. So there's a monthly encouragement of contribution to get it back to that fund, so that they can keep their fund up and running in order to keep the maintenance of the wells going on. There's one aspect of it, which is the quality of the water, to make sure that annually we are testing this water for E. coli and for other chemicals that periodically we can check to know that everything is on point. So there is this E. coli water testing that we do every other 6 months to make sure that the water is of high quality for the communities to drink. So myself and the surveyors are in charge of that. And we're having a quality database system. So when you go into our website, we have M-Water. Maybe some of you that are into technology will get to know it. It's a whole database where we have, from the drilling process to the maintenance aspect of it, we have information as to whatever well that was drilled, what day, what was done at each time, till every maintenance that is being done, every E. coli that is being taken at each well. So the partnership have been good with the communities, and they are buying it up, and we have about currently 100 wells last year, 100 wells this year, and we are having 524 wells done for 524 different. This is possible because we have donors from the US, as you have seen, and from other countries. So we always encourage everybody to be a part of Well Constructed, so that together we can keep changing life and keep strengthening the communities through water partnership. Questions, comments from anyone?
So in terms of maintenance, do you train people from the communities you partner with to know how to maintain, or does Well Constructed take care of the maintenance?
All right, so Well Constructed is with a partnership with our long-standing contractor that we have worked for the last 10 years. He was into wells drilling for private use, but also a part of the community. So we having this partnership with him in such a way that he is doing the maintenance for the communities. Now, we had the aspect of training local folks to be able to take care of the maintenance aspect. But because it's not their work, it's not something they do every day. So at times they try to maintain it, and they rather give a bigger breakdown to it, whereby the whole pump falls inside the well. So that is something that we decided to die that off, so that the contractor can keep maintaining these wells for the communities as they do the payment for it. Yeah, thank you. You're welcome. Any other question? Yeah.
You mentioned something about the water fund not running out, and like you said each individual community has like a water board. You said that you guys get funding. Is the funding what the water fund is? Like you just split up the funding off of like each community, or how does that work? Because if you're doing maintenance and is it constant funding that is then split up by as many wells as you have, or how does the money distribution go to maintain?
Yeah, so the maintenance aspect is borne by the communities.
Okay.
So that is why they have a water fund with money in it. So that whenever the contractor goes out with our surveyors to do the maintenance, we go to get data on what other part has been changed, and the amount is calculated to the community and is paid by the community.
Okay.
So
the community.
Exactly. For the maintenance. The
Okay.
only thing Well Constructed does is get donor funds directly into construction of the wells, and the maintenance is get done by the communities. Exactly.
So it means that the community contribute monthly or
Yes,
yearly
that's
to
what
us.
it's called.
Yeah, so per each community and their structure of contributing money. So others are monthly basis, where they contribute from each household to be able to get it to their account for the maintenance of the well. And others also do yearly, but they should make sure that their account is having money to be able to keep the maintenance of the well ongoing. Yeah. Yeah.
So does Well Constructed have interest in expanding this project to other areas of Ghana that do not have as much?
Yeah, so all is about getting more funds and the logistics to go to other regions. So basically, we have some few projects outside of the region of Upper East. We have Northeast, 10 of them, 10 projects done in Northeast. We have in Ashanti region, 1 project done for a clinic that is done there. And we're hoping that we move to other regions, but it's all about we all putting our support. And that is why we are encouraging everybody. If we have the support, the logistics, we build into Upper West, we build even back to the south. There are areas in the southern part that are still having water challenges. And in the southern part, the best way to do is not water wells, but to do mechanized, because they are conversant with the tap flow aspect of it. So when you're taking it there, you can do solar aspect depending on how the funding is. So that is why we open for more donors to come in for us to be able to expand to other regions as well.
When the donors, are they coming, you put a lot of emphasis on external donors. Are there efforts to look into internal donors?
Yes, so for the period of 10 years, we've been having the external donors coming in, but we are trying to put up our 10-year celebration where we'll make it known to the entire regions and the relevant stakeholders in the entire regions to see the work that through partnership outside the country we are going to do, and to encourage them locally to see how we can all together come together and pick up some other aspect of funding together with our president so that we can have these wells also founded locally as well.
How deep is the water level?
All right, so in the Upper East, we don't really have water table issues, unlike the Northern region and other stuff. So the highest or the deepest of our wells is between 80 meters coming up. But most of our wells, we have 40 meters, 35 meters, 50 meters, 60 meters, and the deepest is 80 meters. Well, highest might be 90. Yeah. So the water table.
It's safe to drink right out of the tap.
Exactly. It's out of the well. Something like that. Yes.
So when it comes to rain, and this is something that many other African countries do, they collect like the rain
Water?
Yeah, the water. I can't remember what they
Yeah, the rainwater.
But is that something that you'd also be interested in doing, where in communities, just not, with not just having the well, you can have like the rain?
All right, so it's something we can do, but it's discouraging because the Upper East only have one rainy season, and the rest, the drought season is as vast as you can imagine. Because for us, we are now, we're supposed to be in the rainy season, but still it's not raining. So basically, from July, August, September, October, and that should be the end of rain. So the only 4 months out of the 8 months will be full of drought. So the best way is to get these wells drilled in communities to be able to help in the water need. Yeah. But during the rainy season, other family homes try to do water collection from the rain for their whole house use. Yeah.
So does Well Constructed, do they respond to communities requesting you to come in as a project, or do you go out offering the service to different communities? Like, is there resistance from communities?
All right, so we call something self-advertisement.
Mm-hmm.
When a well is done at any community, there's a signboard, there's a contact to it, and even the well itself advertised to other communities. So currently, as we speak on our potential community, that is potential communities is people that are still in our wait list for wells to be done. It's 324.
Wow. So,
And we have done 100 this year. And still about 324 wells, potential wells to be done that's still waiting. Yeah.
Can you tell us something about water and gender? Which people are interested in water?
Whoa, that's a very good question. And basically, I can say 100% of the water used in each community are women and children. Women and children. Men can always go into so many areas or travel far for water. But the vulnerable in the communities are children and women, and also the animals. Most of the animals stray away during drought season. But with the help of Well Constructed and the vast work that we have done, animals are now in their homes. Children are able to go to their schools. The women, wives, and school children are always able to get to their schools on time. And a lot of productivity is going on in these communities because women had to walk longer distances. They had back pains. You could see even a pregnant woman carrying a pan of water, walking a mile to her home. So it's something that is really affecting the lives of women and children in the society and those locals, which is a very good thing.
I'm just going to jump on to Professor's question earlier. Is there any government funding that we also get to support these projects?
Yes, we have the district assemblies, which is locally, and they try to do projects, but with the need, government is not able to do it alone, and that is why the non-profit comes in. But there's some sort of government support in the district assemblies to also have these wells done for other communities in the district. Exactly. Yeah, you had a question?
You can go first. Sorry, because I'm just writing a note about it.
My quick question was, what was the production time of creating these wells? Because you said you have over like 300 people on the waiting list.
Yeah.
So let's say one of those communities is approved, how long is the waiting time before we get a well? Or how long is the production time before we get a well functioning in the community?
All right, so the major aspect of our wells, or the work that is done, is the drilling aspect. When the drilling is done, which I don't think we have a picture, okay, that's it. We have a picture of that here. So this is the major aspect of the work done. So if this is done in a maximum of 2 weeks, we should have that well going on.
Do you want the drilling to witness?
No, we have a partnership with our long-standing contractor, Zayuka, which is the one working with these wells over the years for us. So our well constructors just have to do the payment and the work is done. Yes.
Yes.
Have you encountered any threats to the actual water supply itself, such as environmental degradation or like illegal mining potentially contaminating the water supply that is in the ground? Or?
Currently, not yet. We have mining going on in part of where our wells are, but I think government is picking it up to make sure that there's prevention to those things. And testing all our wells, we haven't had any chemical. That is why we do the yearly water testing. We haven't had any chemical that is affecting any of our wells that they are not able to function again. The only thing that we all have to work on, which is another project that we can look at, is climate change, where we have to have more plantation of trees, because drought is really something that is affecting most of the areas. We haven't had a dry well, but the level of water has reduced because of the drought aspect. So that is where the heat is. So we're trying to also come up with encouraging communities to plant more trees around the well areas to help with the mitigation of climate. Yeah.
About how much does it cost to make one well, or to like build one well? Like, what's the initial price?
Wonderful question. I was going to come to that if nobody asked.
Okay. Sorry.
That was a good one. So with getting the well done from the drilling process to the final aspect, we put the logistics aspect of it into it. That is the operational cost of it into it, whereby we have the surveyors also going to the site, well-constructed workers being able to monitor, get data for donors to understand and appreciate that the work is done this way, and we can have dedicated wells to each person, which I was going to talk about that as well. So you can dedicate a well to yourself, whether your birthday, to your friend, or anybody. We can put a signboard on it, which I'll show that to you guys. So the cost per well to be done is $3,800 to have it done.
Interesting.
Hey, you're very careful, the dollar is going down.
Yeah, but on that note, I need to say something, because that is it's important to note that this is a discounted price that has been given to us by our contractor.
Yeah.
But the actual price on the market is $4,500, and some even take more than that. But we have a long standing with our contractor, and over the years he has been so good to us, and that is why he has discounted it up to the $3,800. But the market price as of now will be around $4,500. Yeah.
All right.
Sorry, I'm not sure if you said this, but is it just one contractor who's doing all these wells?
Yeah, so as we said, over the years we started with a contractor, which was even doing it for us at a lowest rate, whereby it was all about let's help get water to the communities. So we have this relationship with him in such a way that it's getting to a point whereby it's not about paying him back, no, but it's about we all doing the work. So there's one contractor doing the work for well constructed. Yeah. So just
The hand here.
yes, just chip in. This is a dedicated well by Given Water. Given is also in the US. They deal with
I think it's a family.
yeah, it's a family company also in the US that deal with producing water, bottled water to sell in the US, and out of it they donate it to various organizations to help with water. There are also names that we can put on our signboard for you whether to honor your dead, friend or family member or anything. Yeah.
Just your personal name,
Yeah, can also be.
and I would love to get someone who would donate to put her own name
These are
or his
students
own
who have
name.
money.
But
Yeah.
maybe a family name is
That's
possible.
not the hand up, it's a question you want to ask.
Yeah.
For the wait list that you mentioned earlier, is that like a first come, first serve, or it depends on the feasibility on the communities as well?
Come again.
For the wait list, you said that there's like over 300 wait list
Yes.
communities. Is that like who's on the list? Like we go from top down, or like it also depends on the feasibility, like other factors? Like
How do you prioritize?
Yes.
Basically, how do you prioritize
So
the
the
communication?
point is that we have, the wait list is there, but we know those that apply first and second, just like that. So that we do not, in effect, leave those that came first. But there's one aspect that we also look at. There's stages of need, or the percentage of need at each community. Now you can be community A, and you come in January, and community B comes in March, but we go and do it for community B because we look at the change, the need, and you realize that no, we need to serve these people first. So sometimes we do that.
Few more questions and then we'll head out.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering what volunteering looks like.
Very open, and we have a lot of work for volunteers, a lot of it. So the potential communities is an aspect whereby you can go, we do sensitization for those potential communities. So we get to let them know about well constructed, what we are into, what they are supposed to do before they get the well, after they get the well, what they are supposed to be doing yearly. We go back there for sanitation. So during the rainy season, the sanitation aspect of the well is very important. If not, there can be contamination if the well area is not clean and taken care of. So volunteering in terms of potential community sensitization is there that you can come and do. Our data collection, maintenance time, we do data collection. Drilling time, we do data collection as well. So that aspect can also be captured. Our water quality testing, which you do E. coli testing, is something that you can also help us with in terms of. So we have a lot of work for volunteers anytime.
Thank you.
Yes.
Few more questions and we've got to go.
Okay, so I wanted to ask, what's the most challenging or most difficult thing for your process of your organization?
Okay, so biggest issues is just roads network to these areas, challenging weather conditions as to getting the work done. For me, I've done the work in such a way that I don't feel there's challenges to me. But sometimes my surveyors will also tell you.
Yeah, that's what I was
During the
technology
rainy
challenges.
season, data collection is a bit difficult because of the rains, and the rains prevents you from going other areas to get it. But the love of the work doesn't really make me feel like there are difficulties in getting this work done as well.
So my question is, so all the data that you collect, how much of it is publicly available? Like the reports or the financials?
100% of our data is online on our website. So when you go to well constructed, which we have that, when you go to well constructed, we have water, you can see the list of potential communities, you can see donated wells, you can see everything, and we have what we call street view photograph that we take that can go longer distance for you to appreciate the entire community and how many households you can count to see benefiting from the work. Yeah, so I will encourage that you visit outside to see some few information.
Any last question before we head out?
There's one right here.
Okay, let me bring some.
So I know that your immediate goal is to get clean water access to communities. Is there any like long-term goal to have personal household access where water is going straight to households, or just focusing on communities?
Hello, listen, please.
Yeah. So his question is whether we have long-term goals to have pipe water into the houses of individuals, which is very good and something that is on our long-term goal. So we have the solar mechanized system, which we have tried it in 3 of our communities currently, and they are able to pull it to their homes for tap water to flow. So that comes with a lot of cost. So we're looking at how we can get that done in the future. But the future plan is to solar mechanize, pull to all vantage areas, help communities to pull into their homes, so that they can even have their shower water flowing for them.
Right. Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you all.
Okay, I now want to call upon my colleague, Dr. Motolola, to say a word or two before we leave. But I would have liked to have this more formally in a setting that we can all look at each other and look at the data and maybe a good presentation. Unfortunately, myself and Rashid have been working on this, so just on breakfast and say, let's go and do it, you know. So basically, I'll ask my colleague, Dr. Motolola, to say a word and thank you for hosting us.
Thank you very much, well constructed. It's been an honor to be here this morning, speaking about all things water. You know, water is life. Without water, everything else does not exist as it should. So thank you for the hard work that you're doing in these communities. And also thank you for speaking to our students about this very important work that you're doing. We're very excited at the University of Calgary, where we start something, to hear about other people starting amazing things in communities across Ghana. We hope that you will continue to do this amazing work, and that we will be supporting. I'm sure our students are very motivated and interested now, and we can be thinking about these issues in future. On behalf of all our students here, we just had a little token that we'd like to keep here for you to remember us by. So thank you very much. Thank you. Let's give them another hand.
All right, thank you.
Let's take a group photo. Maybe stand there.
Yeah, so we wanted to present it to you.
Oh my goodness. Where's my phone?
You know, it's been a long time. It's almost 10 years.
Now choose
Wow.
That was I'll give this.
Wow. Say wow.
I should wait.
Yeah.
Somebody, Georgina.
Ooh, the installation.
Wow.
The
Clap,
High Chief
clap,
of
clap,
Calgary.
clap. Hello. Where's the clapping? Clap, clap. Wow.
So handsome, wow.
So I want to say thank you for coming.
Thank you so much.
I'm so happy you guys is here. You know, Professor is already saying it. We are hoping to see you guys back again to support. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank
So
you.
thank you very much.
So, one picture down.
Yeah.
Okay.